confident are you that this Ukraine funding and a deal can be made between the White House and this Congress?
Kailey, you want me to play false prophet? I will try. So honestly, no one knows. Back in December, back in Thanksgiving time, I was much more confident that this bill was going to pass. The longer it goes on, the less likely it is to pass. The Republicans are unified, and even the most ardent of the Republicans, someone like Senator Romney, has said we got to get the border first. So it's a very, very difficult negotiation. Speaker Johnson has really pushed very hard as well. So I'm not confident it's going to pass, but there are some other maneuvers that can be done to bring that bill to the floor. But right now, it seems like it's still stuck, and Ukraine needs this money urgently. The war is not going anywhere.
Well, it's interesting to hear you say this, Melinda, as you've previously told me it's not a question of if there's more Ukraine funding, but when. Maybe now it is more of an if. But as we consider the when, how much time realistically is left on the clock for Ukraine?
So Ukraine needs this money as soon as possible in order to prosecute the war. This delay is already having an effect on the front lines. We know that Ukrainian soldiers are already starting to keep track of how many shells that they're sending, and people are complaining also about American resolve. You hear this all over Ukraine, from the front lines to the capital as well. So it's definitely having an effect already. If you ask me to analyze, do we have the votes to pass the bill? Yes, there are still enough votes to pass the bill, but leadership has to be behind it. And the closer we get to the presidential election, the less likely it is to pass. But there is some good news, if you don't mind me putting a little good news in there. Europe is starting to step up. German Chancellor Scholz has said he's called a big meeting February 1, and he is mad, and he's telling France, Italy, and Spain, it's time to pay up, baby. So I see the EU getting together, and he's telling these three countries in particular they haven't done enough on weapons. Is it going to be enough? I'm not willing to say that, but it is good news that Europe is waking up to this new reality.
And it's interesting because when you listen to Republican presidential candidates like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, the point he makes on Ukraine funding is that Europe should be picking up more of that burden. While Nikki Haley has said she supports continuing aid to Ukraine, she doesn't want to give them cash, though. She wants to give them weapons. What is it that Ukraine actually needs? Does it need weapons or does it need cash? Does it need both?
It needs both. But right now, it needs weapons in particular. The United States government is the #1 donor on weapons. We have a lot of the things that they need, and we need to get this assistance to them as soon as possible. The EU has been great on money. They're the ones that are keeping the budget afloat. But the EU assistance is also caught up right now in politics. Hungary has been holding that. That's $50 billion. And Ukraine needs that money to keep its budget afloat. The good news is, though, that the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, has said that we are going to pass that with or without Hungary. So that's a story that I'm watching as well.
Of course, as we watch this unfold, we get closer and closer, Melinda, to the 2-year anniversary of this war beginning. And yet it still seems that it's just a stalemate between Ukraine and Russia. As time goes on, is there any real chance of either side becoming more likely to win, or does it just mean that Ukraine's odds of winning are deteriorating?
So I'm not sure it's a stalemate yet. It is still a hot war, and many people are still dying on each side. The front isn't moving a whole lot. I think that's a fair characterization. It will be the second anniversary, February 24th. What does that mean? It means that the world will inevitably lose interest. We saw interest decline with Israel-Gaza. It means that this year is going to be a little bit different. There were high expectations last year in 23 that Ukraine was going to retake more of its territory. Ukraine's already retaken 50%, though, of the territory that Russia had occupied. So that's a big number. It did not make the progress that many expected it and hoped and prayed that it would last year with the counteroffensive. This year, though, I'd say let's be realistic. The best way to characterize 24 with the war between Ukraine and Russia is it's a race to resupply. So what you need to be watching are drones, rockets, and personnel. These are the things that both sides are trying to increase their stock of, and that they're going to have another go at it. I don't see any room for
Mm.
negotiations in the coming year. There's not any appetite on either side.
Well, so if Ukraine were to get those drones, rockets, and personnel, do you think realistically Ukraine would be able to reclaim that remaining 50% of their territory, get it to 100%? Is that even possible with all of the assistance in the world?
Kylie, when you talk to military experts like Lieutenant General Ben Hodges or General Philip Breedlove, those are my two go-to guys. They say it is eminently possible for Ukraine to win if we give them the assistance they need. We have not given them the assistance they need. 20 ATACMS is not enough to do what Ukraine needs. They need F-16s. They need a sufficient supply of ATACMS. The White House also needs to remove its silly prohibition on Western weapons. So right now, we do not allow Ukraine to use Western weapons to hit Russia proper. It doesn't make any sense. Russia is buying, we know that they're buying weapons from North Korea and Iran. That's a third party country. So why can't Ukraine use the weapons the West gives and hit Russia? We need to remove that prohibition. Otherwise, Ukraine is a sitting duck.